The following is a presentation of William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. The UFC is heating up just in time for the summer, and Justis, Andrew, myself, and Jimmy are here to take down everything in the world of the UFC. Second time we've done this on the desk. Love it. Actually, should have been a third time, but we had the lost episodes of Zoom. That was a weird time. But you know what also was weird, Justis? Charles Olivera was stripped of his lightweight championship because he missed weight by half a pound, and he was talking that talk like, oh, I hope everybody's good. And he wasn't. But him and Justin Gaethje still did fight. It was a title fight for Gaethje, but he didn't win. He got tapped out real quick. Justis, take us through that fight. And who do you think Charles Olivera's next opponent is going to be? Because, he looks a little unbeatable.
Andrew can vouch for me. It may have been early, but during Sports-a-thon on Brave New Radio, I said that Charles Olivera was going to beat Justin Gaethje by submission in the first round, and that's exactly what he did.
I also heard you say that, too.
That's exactly what he did. If you take a look at his last 5 fights, Charles Olivera has been running through the lightweight division. He beat Kevin Lee, subbed him, beat Tony Ferguson by unanimous decision, and since then he's been on a tear. Knocked out Michael Chandler, subbed Dustin Poirier, and obviously he beat Justin Gaethje via rear naked choke. Bronx is the best lightweight in the world. Like I said, he's cleaning out the division. He has amazing jiu-jitsu, obviously, but he also has hands. I mean, he finished Michael Chandler. He dropped Dustin Poirier. He dropped Justin Gaethje before he subbed him. So he is an all-around amazing fighter. He should fight Islam Makhachev next for the title. It's going to be another title fight. He could get that McGregor bag. We don't know. But I think he won't lose unless Khabib comes back or if he decides to move up and he fights Kamaru. Then he might face some problems, but I don't see anyone in the division beating him.
Jimmy?
I kind of want to see him fight Michael Chandler again. You just saw Michael Chandler kick Tony Ferguson into a new region. So that front
to the shadow realm.
That front kick to the face was pretty nasty. Michael Chandler can throw with anybody. He can really hit a knockout at any time. Very explosive. Obviously a former champion of Bellator. Got experience in big fights. I think he's really hungry, and I think now he's got that confidence and momentum after this recent knockout to take on Olivera again.
Andrew?
I think his next fight's going to be against the guy, Conor McGregor. I know he's not deserving of it, but it's still Conor McGregor. The guy's been the face of everything for the last decade. Dana White knows that he's going to draw on the money, he's going to draw on attention, and Dana White is going to eat that up. If McGregor doesn't get this fight, I can see it going to Volkanovski. If he does end up deciding to move up, I think that fight could go either way. It'd be a really fun one to watch.
Yeah. Justis mentioned it earlier. I think it's one person. Khabib has to come back. Because that fight would be amazing, because we talked about his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Olivera's, and I just think Khabib's wrestling so good that it's going to be tough for him to do. Like you said, if he moves up and he fights Kamaru Usman, that's going to be difficult. But I think Conor's going to fight Kamaru Usman, and that's not going to be well. But moving along to another really, really good card, and this one, I'm really excited for this one. UFC 276's card was released, and we have a lot of big matchups on this. If we look at it now, we have Hall versus Muniz is a middleweight matchup. Then we have Sean O'Malley and Pedro Munhoz. Then we have Strickland versus Pereira as a middleweight matchup. Then we have the 2 title fights. You see them with the star next to them. We have one I've been waiting for. We were supposed to get this one recently, but Korean Zombie took that whipping from Volkanovski. But we're going to have him and Max Holloway fight for the 3rd time. I thought Max Holloway might have won the second fight. It was a real close one. The first one was close too. And we have Jared Cannonier versus Israel Adesanya. This might be an interesting matchup for Izzy. But Andrew, I'll throw this one to you first. Which matchup are you looking forward to most in this card?
I'm super excited for Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Pedro Munhoz. It's a big bantamweight matchup for both of these guys. Pedro's 19-7. Sugar Sean's 15-1. He's on a Sugar Sean. He's on a three-fight knockout streak following his first loss. He got hurt in that fight. I'm pretty sure.
I think he broke his foot or something in his shin.
Yeah, something got hurt, which probably is the reason he lost. Munhoz, he's number 10 ranked bantamweight. He's on a 1-4 slump right now. This is a key fight for both these guys. Sugar Sean wins this. He continues to move up the ranks like we've seen him do. If Munhoz loses this, he's just going to keep falling. That slump is just going to keep on going. So I'm really excited for this one.
Jimmy?
I'm interested to see greatness. I love watching Izzy fight. It's plain and simple. I want to see if anyone can actually beat him. The aggression that he fights with, he can beat you on the ground. He's got great leg kicks. He can punch with anybody. Just the tenacity he fights with is really unlike anyone in the division. He's been running that division for, just so long now. And even line him up, knock him down. Izzy Adesanya, I want to see him keep going.
Justis?
I agree with both of you. Love to see Sugar Sean fight. Izzy, I think, is going to piece up Jared Cannonier. But if you look at the co-main event, Alexander the Great defends his title against Max Holloway for the 3rd time. I'll be honest with you guys. It may be a hot take, but if Max Holloway loses, he might be on fraud watch. Because if you look at his whole career, if he loses to Volk twice, lost to Conor McGregor, lost to Dustin Poirier twice, we have to talk about how he, doesn't step up in big moments.
Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning territory, yes.
I'm going to agree with you, Justis. That's the one I'm looking forward to most because that second fight to me was oh so close. And I see why both of them, why both people say both won. But I think if Max wins, they're going to have to run it back because Volkanovski's been the champion. Yeah, a 4th fight. And we've seen that before in the UFC. But I'm really looking forward to that fight because styles make fights, and I think they both have contrasting and similar styles. So that's going to be really interesting. And I think Max could pull it out, but hopefully we don't have to talk about the fraud watch with him. But moving along, I think the biggest question mark in the UFC has been the heavyweight division for the past couple of years, and we've seen it get better recently. Francis Ngannou is still the champion, just beat Cyril Gane, and he took him down the whole time, and that was really surprising. But he's trying to go get a bag. He's going to go fight Tyson Fury. He's going to go box him. He's probably going to lose, too. Let's keep it 100. Yeah. So the person he beat for the championship, Stipe Miocic, and everybody's favorite, I call him the GOAT. Say what you want about him. He's the best UFC fighter I've ever seen, Jon Jones. They're going to fight. So, Jimmy, who do you think's going to win that fight if it does happen?
We're going to take a look at how these two titans stand up here. I can't wait to see Jon Jones back in the ring. 6'4" apiece, 80-inch reach for Miocic, 84-inch reach for Jon Jones. You know about the length he brings in the fight. That gives him that great advantage. 26-1 to 20-4. Significant strike percentage. Jon Jones has the advantage there. And takedown defense. One of the most impossible and hardest things to do is to take down Jon Jones. He's so technical, so strong. But he's been out of the ring for such a long time. Miocic has been regularly fighting. I'm going to go with Jon Jones just because I think he's that damn good, but it's going to be a great fight.
Justis?
Yeah, this is an amazing fight right here. These are two GOATs, a GOAT of the heavyweight division versus a GOAT of the light heavyweight division. As you can see from the stats, these two fighters are both great. I would have to go with Jon Jones in this fight just because the only person we've seen beat Jon Jones is Jon Jones.
Yes.
But also, as you said, Jimmy, he hasn't been in the octagon in a long, long time. Stipe is looking for another win, so it could go either way. Very intriguing matchup.
Andrew?
I mean, we're talking about how Jon Jones hasn't been in there in a while. He hasn't fought since 2020 and back in February. And I also think I'm going to go with Jon Jones as well. I mean, I think this is a very difficult fight for him, but I think he can definitely do it. Miocic dropped the heavyweight title to Francis Ngannou, UFC's 260. He had 2 straight victories against Cormier before that. Overall, I think it's going to be a very intense fight if it does happen, and I think it can go either way. I mean, Jon Jones, he's 26-1 for a reason. You called him the GOAT. He is the GOAT.
Yeah. Look, I love Stipe. I got big love for Stipe. He's a firefighter just like our director, so I got big love for him, and I got big love for our director as well, but that's Jon Jones we talking about. That's Jon Jones. Come on now. Like, what am I supposed to say? I think Jon Jones would actually finish him like maybe in the 3rd round if it's a 5-round fight.
And I'd like to see him win that fight because I'd love to see him fight Cyril Gane and even Francis. There's so many heavyweight matchups. Even Derek Lewis, so many of those money fights he can still get.
And here's the thing I'll ponder to you. Jon Jones has never fought a heavyweight. He walks around as a very big man, but he's never fought at heavyweight. So, like, do you think that would hinder him, Jimmy, fighting at heavyweight?
I mean, I think it would hinder him because it's truly, like just said, Derek Lewis, Francis Ngannou, guys like that don't hit that hard in the light heavyweight division. Jon Jones' chin is truly going to be tested, and it's going to be more durable because he's been out for so long. So I'm interested to see that. Stipe doesn't necessarily bring that as much like the other guys. He's much more technical than, say, a Derek Lewis. So it's going to be a true test for Jon Jones, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will see what happens. Gentlemen, go ahead, Justis.
The closest thing he's gotten to heavyweight power is DC at light heavyweight, but even so, he has such a big reach advantage. Yeah. Now when he goes to heavyweight, you have guys with that power and that reach advantage. So it's gonna be very interesting to see.
I know we got to wrap up, gentlemen, but I think Jon Jones is gonna win. If he does fight Francis, who wins?
I have to go. I'm putting the house on Jon Jones.
Nah, I gotta go Francis.
I'll say Francis.
I'm going to go Jon Jones, but that's going to be a hell of a fight. And I am so happy that we got to cover one of the hottest sports in the world on the desk. And I'm thankful that Justis brought this up because we weren't going to do this before Justis brought it up to me. So I'm very happy that we were able to do this. But we have one more block left for the semester and this school year, and that's coming up next here on WP Sports Desk.